Welcome to Battle 1 of Week 5 for the FnF Victory Road Draft League. My name is Lionhugs of Team Whooper Blooper. I'll be commentating today for the match between Noel and Edgar. Noel representing Mystical Chain and Edgar representing Canopy Defenders. So before we get started, just wanted to do a quick overview of the Megas and the Z Privilege Pokemon here. Looks like the only Mega Pokemon on the field today will be from Edgar's team with Mega Charizard X. And in terms of Z moves, we do have on Noel's team Lycanroc Dusk, who does have the Z move attack privilege. And actually on Edgar's team we have both Zmons present, with Starmie being able to use any Z move and Crocodile only being able to use attacking moves. So before we get started, I just want to give some brief initial thoughts. Notice right there on Noel's team, we do have 3 Pokemon that can benefit very strongly from Eviolite. That will be Magneton, Piloswine, and Golbat. So it looks like Noel will have to really watch out for potential knockoff reads to make sure that they can get the most out of those 3 Pokemon. I'm assuming Crocodile is probably going to have knockoff or perhaps another Pokemon on Edgar's team to anticipate this. And another thing I've noticed that while Noel's team seems to be overall kind of bulky, generally kind of balanced, on Edgar's team we see a lot of heavy hitters, especially Pokemon that can benefit from stat boosts. So we have, for example, Swords Dance probably on Garchomp and Mimikyu. We do know that Dragon Dance... we have Dragon Dance on Mega Charizard. And I do know that Nihilego potentially has Beast Boost, which can... whatever Pokemon it takes out, it raises its special attack. So I'm assuming that Edgar's going to play very aggressively to see if they can overwhelm Noel's typical style of... maybe not quite stall, but there's definitely a bit of defensive plays overall with Noel. And without further ado, I believe we should go ahead and get started. And Noel opens out with Golbat. I'm assuming they're going to try and Toxic whoever comes out with from Edgar. Okay, Edgar comes out with Crocodile. Oh, interesting. Edgar goes ahead and uses Taunt to prevent Golbat from using any move other than attacking moves. And looks like they predicted the Toxic. And that definitely allows Edgar to go ahead and set up Stealth Rock, giving them some kind of good advantage for any kind of switch-ins. I'm assuming Golbat might have a U-turn. However, that Super Fang did do a lot of damage to Crocodile and is doing again a lot of damage to Garchomp. Thorskin does help a little bit defensively, but without some sort of recovery move, I'm not sure how much longer Garchomp can really... Okay, Garchomp is going for the Sword Stance. And there goes the Toxic. So if Edgar has a rock move potentially, I believe that could do some really good damage on Golbat. Oh, but instead we're going for Dragon Claw. Oh, and then there's a counterplay from Noel with Haze, so that takes away Edgar's Sword Stance. And with Toxic damage, it's only a matter of time before Garchomp either has to switch out or gets taken out. And an unboosted Dragon Claw brings down Golbat to 14%, however, with that roost from Noel, Golbat's able to easily recover. It looks like Edgar's switching back out to Crocodile. Perhaps going to use a Stone Edge. Alright, so Noel pivots to Serena, and Edgar responds with a knockoff. The knockoff doing a strong amount of damage on Serena. Unfortunately did not hit its intended target. And there goes Tectonic Rage. So we have that move taking out Serena. I believe that might have been intended for Golbat, but we'll see. And Noel sends out Ivory the Piloswine. Unfortunately, loses the Eviolite through knockoff. Interesting. So Noel goes ahead and uses the Stealth Rock. Now both players are more or less evenly matched with entry hazards unless somebody uses like Defog or Rapid Spin. I'm assuming we're going to see that soon from Starmie on Edgar's team. And with a trade of Earthquakes, Silbeck the Crocodile goes down. And out comes Kaleo the Starmie, and alright, using Skull to go ahead and take out Piloswine instead of Rapid Spin. That is good though, because Piloswine is a major threat to both Mega Charizard and Garchomp. But Atomitrix the Megaton comes out with a Thunderbolt one-shotting Starmie. And now Garchomp comes out, I wonder... Alright, Noel comfortably switches out to Milotic to take whatever Garchomp's going to dish out, and there's the Earthquake. Well, it did 40% damage, and it looks like Mystici the Milotic is burnt. But unfortunately, Toxic Stall's going to go ahead and take out Garchomp, while Milotic comfortably recovers. Things are looking a little tough for Edgar right now. I wonder if we're gonna see Nihilego come out and okay, no, we're seeing Mimikyu. Well, that makes sense. Probably is gonna do okay. Wood Hammer nearly takes out Milotic, but the recoil damage is not gonna be. Oh, and we have a decoy to take that first Scald. All right. That's actually a pretty clever play from Edgar. I wonder if one more Woodhammer's it. Oh, Noel comfortably switches on to Magneton to probably take the next. I'm assuming it's going to be Woodhammer. And there it is. The recoil damage bringing down Mimic the Mimikyu to 50%, and then a Volt Switch to bring it down to 9% for Magneton. Golbat. Another Woodhammer for Mimikyu. Wonder if it's choice locked right now. That would explain why there is no other move being chosen. And the recoil damage takes out Mimikyu, leaving the Super Fang to hit no one. Oh, unfortunately, since Stealth Rock is still active, sending out Charizard has a major consequence of losing about 50% damage. If it Mega Volt earlier, could have taken at least a smaller amount of damage from Stealth Rock, I believe about 25%. And with Super Fang and Toxic from Noel's Golbats, things are looking a little dicey for Edgar right here. And a Flare Blitz. Very powerful move, but unfortunately there's another consequence with recoil damage. And then Noel counters with Haze as well to remove that Sword Stance. However, Edgar does respond with a Dragon Claw, which is finally able to take out Golbat. However, Toxic Damage is going to take out Vitali, leaving Edgar just with Nihilego. Things are looking a little rough for Edgar. However, that counterplay with Beast Boost could come in handy now that Golbat is gone. It just depends on whether or not Milotic potentially still has Haze. Power Gem on Atomitrix doesn't do quite enough damage, only brings it down 37%, versus a Flash Cannon, which is able to do 62% on Nihilego. And with one more power gem from Edgar, Magnus Up goes down. And there's a Beast Boost, increased to special attack. Now we are down to the final few Pokemon. Lycanroc comes out and uses Accelerock to finish the game. And there's the score. We have 2-0 in favor of Noel from Mystical Chain. And wow, what an exciting match. So there was a lot of good reads going on both sides actually, with just constant trading between coverage moves as well as setting up Stealth Rock. It seemed, however, that the Stealth Rock setup by Noel, plus the consistent use of Toxic and Super Fang from Golbat, really helped Noel chip down some of those bigger threats, especially with Charizard taking 50% damage as soon as it came out. That massively reduced its longevity. And I also want to mention Mimikyu's good use of its decoy. Unfortunately, was not able to take out, I believe it was Milotic at that time, but it was still a clever use nonetheless. Still, I'm just really impressed by what's happened, and I just want to go ahead and reiterate for the sake of the server. Again, Noel has won with 2-0. I just want to go ahead and sign out. My name is Lionhugs, or Blooper. Tune in next time for more Week 5 battles.